Senator Lindsey Graham, who was formerly a rival of Donald Trump, saying if Trump's the nominee, we will get destroyed and we will deserve it. As you just heard,
Trump and I, we've had a hell of a journey. I hate it being this way. Oh my God, I hate it. From my point of view, he's been a consequential president. But today, first thing you'll see. All I can say is count me out. Enough is enough. I've tried to be helpful. But when this Wisconsin Supreme Court ruled 4-3 that they didn't violate the Constitution of Wisconsin, I agree with the 3, but I accept the 4. If Al Gore can accept 5-4, he's not president. I can accept Wisconsin 4-3. Pennsylvania, it went to the Second Circuit. So much for all the judges being in Trump's pocket. They said, no, you're wrong. I accept the Pennsylvania Second Circuit that Trump's lawsuit wasn't right. Georgia, they said the Secretary of State took the law in his own hands. He changed.
Remember when? Remember when we liked Lindsey?
Said, no, I accept the
there was a
judge,
time.
so I don't agree with it.
Had anybody forgotten? Had any of y'all forgotten? There was a time we kind of liked him, didn't we?
Georgia,
He's the kind of politician that people hate. I mean, he's just a weasel, right?
Give me 10 and had 1.
No principles whatsoever. He just is a complete opportunist.
Give me 10.
It was.
I got 1.
Back then, he was our weasel.
Problems in every election.
I know.
I don't buy this.
I guess that's the way to put it. I liked it when he was weaseling against Trump, not for him. Oh, this was a good one here.
Has been consequential from a conservative point of view. It has been an amazing 4 years in terms of judges, securing the border,
and then he switches.
A vaccine in record time, deregulating the economy, cutting taxes.
Yeah, he was a weasel.
The destruction of the caliphate.
I had a friend of his, a former friend who quit speaking to him after he turned Trump, explained to me. I asked him why the switch on Trump, and he had an interesting explanation that when McCain died, McCain and Lindsey were very close. In fact, this guy described it as McCain was his daddy. Some say mentor. I guess that's another word for it. And when McCain died, he needed another daddy, and that was Trump. That's what that guy said. I don't know. You waving there, Dexter? Are you there? Can you hear?
Yeah, Nash and Jamie are waving at me.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe the volume was out or something. But anyway, that was.
I turned on Meet the Press and I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She had Trump on there for 20 minutes this morning or more.
Yeah.
Live?
Yes. And then she had
this
Netanyahu on live.
Yeah, Netanyahu's really on. I noticed he did 20 minutes with Dana Bash the other day. He's really on a roll trying to. I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't think he's going to turn people in his favor just by showing up on TV everywhere.
Well, now everybody's got to know who Annie Andrews is.
Mm-hmm.
So here we
go. Here's y'all ready to? Now here's the short link to our ad. This is our new. I just finished it this morning. Our new Trail Mix ad.
Best thing about Annie Andrews is
I gotta get that off the screen and put this on the screen. All right, here we go.
Best thing about Annie Andrews is
The best thing about Annie Andrews.
Well, let's just say she believes in science, and I think that is so important right now.
Yeah, so to be clear, the day RFK Jr. was nominated to lead HHS was the day I decided to run in this race, because as a pediatrician, he has been my and all of my pediatrician colleagues' professional arch nemesis for decades.
I've worked for 20 years on the front lines of America's healthcare system, and I know the ins and outs of how deeply broken and profit motivated our healthcare system is. And I can take that experience plus my day-to-day experience caring for individual patients to inform my decision making.
There she is. That's a short. We got to spread this around. I haven't looked lately. In the first 15 minutes, it got over 300 views on YouTube and 300 on TikTok in just 15 minutes. So Spread it around. Trailmix.cc/Annie.
Doesn't say which state.
Oh, well, I can't get everything in there in 30 seconds.
Well, you can
They'll
put
have
it
to
on
figure
the
that out.
screen.
Yeah, I could add that, but we got to spread it around. I mean, the thing about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The first thing I thought of was David Bloom, because he just, Graham just came back from Ukraine last night on a long flight. And,
that's an interesting comparison.
And the first thing I thought of was David Bloom, because he was all cramped up in one of those special tanks they had for him over there. And that's
when he was an embed. That's when he was an embed, right? He was an embed.
He was embedded over there, with a unit, and he spent hours and hours all cramped up in there, and then he got that DVT and thrombosis, coronary thrombosis. So that's the first thing I thought of.
Well, the whole explanation is there from Frank, I think, on the Trail Mix site about what exactly a DVT is and what an embolism is and how it kills you.
Well, if she posted it, I'm sorry I copied it, because I put it up right away too. So one of us, I guess we both did then.
I don't know.
I mean, this is how well she was doing. I mean, these are the last 4 polls that the New York Times put together. This was a contest. I mean, this was not bad. I mean, now the question I have is, now that he's gone, what happens? I mean, some of it depends on who they end up choosing, and if there's a fight, because they got to go to a primary to pick a replacement. I mean, for the ballot, the governor.
They can get a temporary replacement immediately, and then they go to that other process.
And the issue is whether Trump pushes, because McMaster will do whatever Trump tells him.
Yeah.
And it's really a matter of whether Trump wants him to pick somebody who becomes the nominee, or pick somebody neutral and let the Republicans duke it out. I'm guessing Trump will tell him to pick somebody who he wants to actually be the nominee, and there's a couple of choices. So, I guess we can't really know right now whether these numbers will change without Graham in the mix in one direction or the other. But she was close. I mean, this was a fighting chance here she had while Graham was alive.
Have to get Sturgeon to weigh in. That's his hometown, his home state, Charleston.
It is. Well, Sturgeon is the first one that brought her to my attention. He was saying that he thought she was a pretty strong candidate, and then I started watching her, and she is pretty good.
Whoever the replacement is, they're probably not going to get as much support as Graham had. There were probably people who were just loyal to him because of what he was in the past, and they never paid attention too much to what's going on now. So I think this puts her in a better position. Especially if Trump puts in some fire-breathing, right-wing extremist radical nut.
And there's a couple options for that. Because the reason I think he'll do that is what I was saying yesterday. He is going to want someone who will guaranteed 100% vote against conviction when he's impeached. And that'll have to be an ultra MAGA, which will make it easier.
Given Lindsey's long service period, too, he was popular because of what he could deliver to the states.
Yeah.
Out of the budget and so on. A newbie coming in won't have that kind of clout.
Another issue this raises, he was only 71, right?
Right.
And he died suddenly. I mean, this whole age issue, there's among young Democrats especially, there's this whole age thing. They don't want to see politicians in their 70s running for office because they feel, these people are out of touch and they're not well. They're physically, impaired and they can't do their job. So the whole issue comes up again. And quite frankly, I'm 75. So if somebody 71 dies, it really makes me nervous.
That's the first thing I
Right.
thought of. All these people on cable TV lately, these young people being interviewed, how they do not want old people in office. They want their chance. And
No
that's the first
offense,
thing
but
thought
I
of.
agree with that sentiment. I want new blood in our government. We need to shake things up instead of doing the status quo. And I believe the younger generations, no offense to you all, believe me, you guys have done great things.
Hey,
But
I've been promoting.
I'm
all
ready
these
for it.
youngsters.
I'm
I'm out here
you know,
promoting these youngsters.
yeah, I mean, some of them have really great ideas in turning our country around and getting us on that path to being better instead of just sitting here.
Here's the
morning.
I think this may be the most likely. This Mark Lynch right here, who's very much MAGA, very pro-Trump, but he got in the primary. He primaried. He's an ultra MAGA who primaried Lindsey, and he got 29% of the vote in June in the primary against Graham. So he's got a campaign organization ready to go, and they've only got a 30-day sprint here. The other guy here that's a possibility is one of Project 25 architects, Paul Dans, but he pulled out. He was going to run against Lindsey and then pulled out. And then there's our gal, Dr. Annie, and then there's her numbers. And then the timeline I put together on my Substack here. Here's the timeline is. So the second Tuesday, this is from the statute, the second Tuesday after the death, that's July 21st. What's that? What is that? Is that a week from Tuesday or something like that? I don't know.
About 9 days.
So that's when they file, and then filing closes a week later. So candidates have until July 28th. To file, and then they have a primary election in South Carolina on August 11th. And
See, that doesn't give them much time to campaign for the general election.
yeah, see that, yeah, exactly. That's exactly right, and that's why I'm thinking, that gives this dude here, this Mark Lynch, the upper hand. Because he would have, he's the one most ready to go. Who are you saying bye-bye? Oh, Winter's here. Is that what you're saying?
No, Jamie went because she was going out for pancakes.
Oh, Jamie, I didn't get to ask her where she was going for her pancakes. I wanted to know.
Now I want pancakes. Jeez.
Yeah, me too, actually.
I just dug up my waffle iron yesterday. I'm going to have waffles later on.
I forgot. I have 2 Belgian waffle makers. My grandma bought them for me.
Nothing better. Maple syrup, butter.
Oh, God.
So,
I don't think a candidate with the name Lynch is going to attract too many black voters.
No, especially with, and I'm going to say it because it is happening all over our country and the news isn't putting it out, is the lynchings that are happening. The young black people. It's
he's one of them
scary.
old bastards too. It looks like he ain't got no hair like me.
well, they got it. They do have a youngster they could go with, but I think this. But he backed out before when he had a shot at it, or when this is Paul Dans here, who was a Project 2025. So he's ultra MAGA. He was one of the primary architects. He's from the Heritage Foundation of Project 2025. So Trump will like him. Either one of these guys, I think, would be guaranteed to vote against impeachment conviction, which will be Trump's standard.
Right.
Who he picks.
Well, they're both probably trying to kiss Trump's ass right now.
Can you imagine? I would love to know exactly how and who. I mean, I guess the first thing they do is they call Susie Wiles and can I talk to the man? Can I talk to him? I don't know how they would go about it because unlike a lot of the reporters, they probably don't have his cell number. because he'll answer his cell phone if you have his number.
I'm not even sure Susie gets to answer the phone anymore. I don't think she has anything to do with anything anymore.
Yeah.
Katie,
Well,
I
now
never heard about any new lynchings epidemic.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. What are you talking about? New lynchings?
Oh. Well, I watched a video last night. Obviously, there were the two that happened in, was it Mississippi or Georgia a couple of months ago? There was a boy that they determined it was on a college campus. And they determined it was a suicide, but yet he was hanging from a tree.
Oh, really?
You don't mean that football player, do you? That college football player?
Yeah, I think that was the one.
They haven't decided what happened to him.
And then there was one in Michigan.
Oh, there's Billy. Billy Bubba's here.
Oh, hi, Billy.
Hey there. Oh, Billy's frozen in place. He's frozen.
Oh.
And it looks like he's just getting ready to say something meaningful. Oh, there he is. All right, now he's in movement. No, are you there, Billy?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Now I was thinking of you when I saw the South Carolina news. I put this guy on the screen here. This is do you know anything about him? He's the one I think might be a likely pick for when they choose a nominee. Mark Lynch, he got 29% in the primary against Graham. So I'm thinking he's a possibility.
Oh, Lindsey, come lend me your hand. Let's all walk together to the promised land. Oh, we're mourning this morning down here in Monk's Corner. The only thing that I can thought that even comes to my mind when I think about Lindsey Graham is damned if he had in the poster child for battered spouse syndrome in the last 10 years.
Isn't that true? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I had a piece I played earlier about it.
I guess that's his legacy. It's like Donald Trump will just and then he's on his knees. Oh, my Lord and King and Savior. How great thou art. Weird.
It was a big switch from here he is. This item here, our friend Howard Mortman put this up earlier. I think this was, I don't know which Lindsey this one is. We'll see. We'll see which one this is here.
I have a question for you. Will you be the first presidential candidate to publicly take a stand and say that you will not support Donald
Okay, this is 2015 when he was running against Trump. Okay.
Trump if he becomes the nominee for president?
Okay, really good question. I've called him every name I know to call him.
This is in New Hampshire.
From race baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. I'm running out of adjectives. I'm running as a Republican. Do I want to buy a ticket on the Titanic? No. Do I believe that Donald Trump will get his clock cleaned by Hillary Clinton? Yes. Do I believe that Hispanics are mad at Donald Trump? Without any doubt. Do I believe that he represents the worst in America, not the best? Yes. Here's what Bob Dole said. I'm trying to be a good Republican, but even a better American. You know why Donald Trump's not going to be our nominee? He's not a Republican. Here's what Bob Dole said.
That's when we liked him. Had y'all forgotten there was a time we kind of liked him, didn't we?
I forgot.
There was a time old Lindsey had a soul, but somebody stole it in the heat of the night.
Well, I was telling a story earlier, Billy, of a friend of his who no longer speaks to him when he turned Trump, but he said that the deal was that when McCain died, that McCain was Lindsey's daddy, his mentor, as some people say it. And then when he died, he switched to Trump eventually, and because he always needed to have a daddy. That which is kind of a demeaning way to put it, but it sort of makes sense.
It's weird that you say that, though, because as a president, who would have been his daddy then?
Right. Yeah.
Like, you take on the role of daddy then.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Marco Rubio.
Oh, I highly doubt that. I think Marco is more like Lindsey than we think.
Because, I mean, if you want to get deeply psychological about it, his parents died when he was pretty young. His father died, I think, when he was in high school or college, and he ended up raising his sister, who was much younger. As a college kid, he adopted his own sister in order to raise her as her parent, because their parents were dead. Yeah, it's kind of a wild background, actually.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I mean, what a bet on Calshire Poly Market. Does Mitch McConnell die first or Lindsey Graham?
Yeah. That's what I was wondering.
Well, how do we know that Mitch? We don't know what Mitch might have died first. We don't really know.
Well, according to his wingman on CNN, Scott Jennings. Have y'all seen him on TV? Scott Jennings.
Yeah.
A big CNN talking head nowadays. Scott Jennings from Kentucky. He talked to him for 17 minutes this past week on the phone and said he was doing just fine. Wanted to talk about policy and talk about the environment, climate change killing the bluegrass in Lexington or whatever. I don't know, but it's who knows. I mean, I guess this week it does look like the press this week. If somebody doesn't come forth with some kind of concrete evidence that Mitch McConnell is actually alive and breathing, now he may be laying there in a coma, brain dead or something. I don't know, but I think the press is really going to eat him up this coming week. It's like, where's Mitch? Where's Mitch?
Well, I let me run this by. Why? What would stop Beshear? And I think he's heading this direction. The governor, Democrat Governor Beshear, could just go ahead and call a special election and just say, it looks like he's dead to me. I'm going to call a special election, and then let the McConnell side go to court or whatever and challenge it and prove that he's alive. I mean, that would be a way to call their bluff, seems to me.
I like
just
that.
Call the election.
And why can't they give proof of life? If he's in a coma in the hospital, take a freaking picture and say, look at, he's in a coma, or look at, he's at home recovering, or look at blah, blah, blah. Proof of life.
And if Republicans complain, Beshear could say, okay, fine, prove he's alive, and I'll withdraw my.
Maybe somebody has to call in a welfare check.
Well, this is what the Republicans would do. They would not sit back and just wait. I mean, they would demand and they would take action. They say, we're going to assume he's dead and we're going to take action.
Right.
But the Democrats are still very, very hesitant about doing anything that looks too partisan, for Christ's sake.
But see, I've been looking at this since I saw Beshear getting active and saying stuff. I thought this is an opportunity for him for his 2028 ambitions is to make some news, and that'd be a great way to do it and show some, like you're saying, Nash. I mean, show a little spunk. Get out there.
His
and do
wife
something
write
kind
him
of
off. She wrote him off. It looks like.
Boy, speaking of, Ro Khanna's been showing last.
Yeah, our European representative Venter points out, don't you fire people from their jobs when they're ill?
And his convoy, and then the IDF got after him.
So
I don't know if y'all seen any of that stuff, but he
got a point there.
Yeah, he was on Meet the Press, but I had to get away from
posting a lot
else, so I missed it.
on social media in the last couple of days about it.
Oh yeah, they came after him with a gun barricade, a gun. IDF with guns. They wouldn't let him move.
Who we talking about?
Ro Khanna over there in Israel.
Yeah.
Oh.
The IDF got after him.
Yeah, he's
Netanyahu defended it today. He called him a renegade or what do you call him, delinquent or something.
Oh man, I'm telling you right now, if I was thinking of running as a Democrat right now for for 2028, I'd want Netanyahu after me every day. I think most of the Democratic base voters and majority of the independent base voters have zero love left for Bibi.
The Israelis don't either. He's done.
It's also young people in the MAGA movement. They don't want to support Israel. They say, why are we giving all this money and everything to Israel? So even on the right wing, among young people, I've read, they're not supporters of Israel. It's only the older Republicans who still reflexively support Israel, along with the older Democrats, too.
Yeah, I think that's very accurate. I think that's
they
very
finally
accurate.
That generation saw the light.
Now, here's a poll that just came out from South Carolina that I'm seeing here. Let's see what we got. Something.
Oh, boy.
Oh, here we go. It showed Annie within the margin of error, 48 for Graham, 45 for Andrews, and the Democrat internal polls. I know I've been seeing some of those. They've been showing that too. But then the New York Times put this one up. These were the last 4 polls that the New York Times put up a few days ago. So the question, Billy, is what happens now that he's out of the picture? Does this help Republicans or hurt? Of course, it depends on who they end up with, so on. How would you analyze this situation? It's kind of unusual.
That's a hard one, Craig. I mean, that's I think the best thing that would help Dr. Andrews on the Democrat side is for the South Carolina GOP to just get in a free-for-all over the whole thing. Like Nancy Mace might jump in. Maybe Nancy Mace jumps in.
I hadn't thought about that. That's a great idea. Get her in there.
Get her in there and get I don't know, get some sheriff, a couple redneck sheriffs out there in South Carolina in there, and get some some of those fire breather and MAGA bunch in there, the You Lie. You remember that Congress? Oh, who was that? They hollered at Obama in the State Union. You Lie. Yeah, get a bunch like it. Just, in other words, get 10 crazies in there. Let them just throw mud at each other constantly and put that governor in a squeeze, that McMaster, beat up on him. And,
a little bit.
I think the best thing would help Dr. Annie Andrews as a Democratic nominee for U.S. Senate in South Carolina coming up on this November's ballot is for every Republican in South Carolina to start shooting at each other. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, and the process they're looking at is, I went back and looked at the statute and the way it works is, and so obviously McMaster could put somebody in the seat right now. The question is, does he put somebody in who could actually win the nomination? Because they're going to have a primary election. It's not a party committee thing.
Right.
They have to have a primary election, and it looks like it'll be August 11th. And the candidates have until July 28th to file. So that's where that happens, what you're talking. So the question is, will McMaster pick somebody who would actually run in that primary and be the anointed successor, or pick somebody who's just a caretaker and let the party fight it out? I mean, that's the threshold question for what you're talking about, where it goes.
Let's hope he just picks somebody that irritates everybody. And like I said, let 10 people jump in there and fight it out in the middle of and the average South Carolinian right now, it's 100 degrees in the shade and 80% humidity, and the flies are driving them crazy, and the bug zapper keeps breaking, and the air conditioning needs charging, and let's say make it irritate everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. Just get everybody all riled up down there.
Blue.
Hey, Blue.
Hey, Blue.
Well, I want to run my ad by Now here's my idea for how she pivots, because the thing is, Annie Andrews has been all about running against Graham. Her whole campaign's been built on that, right? So now that's gone, and so she's got to pivot, and she actually unwittingly, I guess, had built a pivot right into her campaign, and it's RFK Jr. and the measles outbreak in South Carolina. So here's the ad I put together this morning real fast.
The best thing about Annie Andrews.
Well, let's just say she believes in science, and I think that is so important right now.
Yeah, so to be clear, the day RFK Jr. was nominated to lead HHS was the day I decided to run in this race, because as a pediatrician, he has been my and all of my pediatrician colleagues' professional arch nemesis for decades.
So there's her new pivot. That's where she pivots to the rationale for her campaign is to take on RFK Jr. because the measles outbreak in South Carolina is real. It's actually happening. I mean, it's not a theory.
Right.
Now, what do you think of that, Billy?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. The best thing could happen for her and for Democrats and our side, and the whole thing is if a ton of Republicans fight and start shooting at each other, trying to claim the mantle of Lindsey Graham and Donald Trump or whatever, and the people are all hot and miserable, and the gas is still high, and the bugs are biting, and everybody
You're focused on the bugs. We got to work the bugs into our campaign messaging, don't we?
Yeah, well, I live on the Gulf Coast, and you focus on bugs this time of year because every time you open a car door, a mosquito fly, a mosquito, and a bee fly in. You know, it's like,
you got those palmetto bugs down there?
Oh, good gosh. I've killed 5 of those in the house in the last 5 days. You open the door at nighttime when the lights are on in the house, they just come flying in. They're about the size of your thumb.
I had kind of a dumbass relative who her idea for dealing with roaches is my mom was over there and there was a plate of food in the middle of her kitchen, and she said, Gladys, why you got that food in the middle of the kitchen? And she says, that way I keep the roaches out of the cupboards.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah.
That's one positive thing about having dumbass relatives. You get a lot of good stories.
Oh yeah, you get some good stories for sure, and you spend a lifetime just shaking your head, wondering, are they really kidding me? Or what's some of their adoption going on somewhere down the line or something?
Yeah.
Do y'all have outbreaks of cyclospora there?
The what? I tell you what, we got something that's attacking bears, their skin, and it's awful. Their fur's falling off. I saw that on local news here in Virginia.
Cyclospora. They're referring it to Trump diarrhea syndrome because
it's in the water. It's in the water.
It's in the water. Yeah, because RFK Jr.
Really?
That's what I thought maybe Lindsey Graham had, because it was such a fast thing. And I was like, ooh, maybe that's what he had, and he got dehydrated and caused, But,
well, let's not rule out it was a proxy killing by Iran, since they couldn't get the
well, that too.
Yeah.
I think it was I think when it all comes out, the initial stories I read early said that I think the 911 call was for cardiac arrest, possible cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
Well, that could be Putin too, but
Lindsey see, he gets on that Dirksen Senate office building salad diet with the Gen Z and millennial staffers during the week, and then on the weekend he goes back to South Carolina and eats 20 plates of shrimp and grits, and that cholesterol, you know.
Yeah.
Cholesterol might have got him.
Maybe so are they going to blame it on Iran, and this is our false flag?
Oh, probably. I mean,
it's build your conspiracy day. Build your own conspiracy.
No,
That's
that's
right.
a medical
we got two Republican senators down. There's got to be a conspiracy here, especially if there's a third one. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And it comes in threes. It
buy
comes in
that.
threes. So
It
let's
sure
cross our
does.
fingers that we can pop champagne pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess next they'll claim that Jared and Whitcoff and JD can't go back and negotiate because they're scared they'll shoot them down or something. I don't know.
Yep.
You know what's been the most what's amazed me more about this whole Iran imbroglio more than anything else? When you look at the awesome power of the United States Navy and Marine Corps and nuclear aircraft carriers and destroyers and helicopters and all, F-18As and just everything they've got, how can you not root a bunch of guys on lake boats with Evinrude outboards in a 20-mile stretch of water on the planet? I just don't get that. I mean, I just don't understand that.
Well, and we just got through going through the whole Revolutionary War history, and it was the same thing. I mean, the British Navy, they rolled in 130 ships into Boston, and Washington put a bunch of cannons on the hill and pointed it at them, and they just turned and ran to Canada. I mean, I don't know.
Well, here's.
I mean,
I was gonna say
you got a bunch of guys on the RGC guys on Lake Sea Ray boats with Honda outboards, and they're running they can cut off 30% of the world's energy or something every day. That just blows my mind.
Remember the USS Cole got attacked by a cigarette boat and got a great big hole blown in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, guerrilla warfare on the water.
Think about back to bugs. Think about how much damage a little mosquito can cause.
Well, it's like the military
It
experts.
can cause malaria or something. So.
The military experts keep saying about this Iran thing, and it's like the side that's defending their land is always at a natural advantage, and right from the get-go, no matter what the disparity of force is.
I mean, maybe bigger isn't always better. I guess I don't know. It just you just look at we've got the satellites and we've got the trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of armaments and the greatest military on the planet and everything, and a bunch of guys in lake speedboats with Honda outboards they seem undefeated so far. It's like it, and I love their audacity. It's like, okay, we're closed. The strait's closed again. Hey, world, this is Iran and our speedboats with our Honda outboards. The water's closed again. Don't come through now. We'll get you.
They're not letting. They're not letting Trump do whatever the hell he wants because he wants to drop a nuke. So that's part of the thing too.
Power of the U.S. military is the same problem that Lyndon Johnson had in Vietnam. He just couldn't conceive of the fact that he could lose. He figured, we've got all this stuff. We got nuclear weapons. We got B-52 bombers. We got nuclear submarines. How could we possibly lose? And
that was a headache for him. Because McNamara is the one that kept popping him up, and putting his head full of noise.
Well, I think with Iran, just with that Strait of Hormuz, just the terror threats, just the threat of we'll come get you now if you come through here. I guess it just backs down the whole world, and of course the insurance companies, it definitely scares them because if you've got a boat over there, a ship that needs to come through there hauling something, they're like, okay, you're on your own. You're not in good hands, and we're not a good neighbor. You don't have any insurance.
Is it open today or is it closed today? That's what I want.
Well, here's the sum up from that guy this guy was Obama's ambassador to Russia and Stanford now.
Mike McFaul,
Yeah, I always like what he's got. He does a nice little quick sum up here of just how screwed up.
With other things,
Yeah,
people forget. He said we're going to eliminate their nuclear weapons program, eliminate their missile production, stop support for terrorists, and we are going to create the conditions for freedom in Iran. Regime change. None of those things have been accomplished.
Nope.
In addition, this was not a cost-free war. We lost American soldiers. Thousands of people in the region died. Billions of dollars of American taxpayers were burnt up. Global economy suffered massive inflation, and we Americans suffered massive inflation. So it'd be one thing to say you didn't accomplish your goals, but it was really cheap. It wasn't cheap. It was costly. In addition, the Iranians closed the Strait of Hormuz, and we have not been able to reopen it. That was a consequence of the war. And the fact that we're just focusing on rolling back that consequence shows you, in my view, how little has been achieved from this war.
Yeah, when he speaks, you stop chopping the onions. You pay attention to what he's doing.
Yeah, he's good. He's real good. And, you know, Putin tried to kill him. When he was ambassador to Russia, Putin put out a contract on his head, and Obama had to bring him home.
Oh, well.
Jeez,
I think he still wants to kill him.
Probably had those women with those poison things that they killed the other guy with. They smashed him with.
Well, now we haven't had you on, Billy, since Maine and Nash here on here. I don't remember if y'all have met, haven't you? Anyway, Nash is our main bureau chief. He's been keeping. But anyway, we haven't had you on. Whoa! What happened to the line? Somebody's got an echo.
Yeah, I heard that.
Is that Billy? Oh, that's you, Billy. There's an echo coming in. How's that? Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's better. Anyway, we hadn't heard you. We hadn't gotten your take on Maine. What's going to happen there? This is Troy Jackson right here. I got Troy Jackson on the screen. Nash thinks Nash is for Bellows, and we are too. But we think this Troy Jackson's got the leg up on this.
I think the voters up there are going to have to. The Democratic Party is going to have to. They're going to have their nominating convention and see what comes out of it. I just wish that the Democrats and that Graham Plattner and all of them had started just hollering from day one, witch hunt, it's rigged, witch hunt. I mean, hell, it worked for Trump, you know, it's witch hunt. I mean, you know, well, if I've done all these horrible things, why didn't the police come handcuff me and haul me off, you know?
Well, so they did that for a long time. You know, there was a lot of things coming out about Plattner that were not flattering, like the Nazi tattoo. But people let it go. They were willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. But then they came to this woman who went on CNN, and that was it. I mean, you know, or Politico, wherever she came out, that was it. People dropped him like a hot rock. This is his own supporters dropped him like a hot rock.
Yeah.
Because he was dropping in the polls. He was.
And I guess that shows that Democrats still have a conscience and you know, still have a moral and ethical compass and will only tolerate so much. Whereas MAGAs and the GOP, I mean, the more you pile on their guy, you know, if you start putting videos out there of their candidate murdering somebody, they'll say, well, it's fake, it's AI generated, it's a witch hunt. They just double, triple down. They go to the mat. No matter how
Victor Marks in Colorado. Look at Victor Marks in Colorado going for governor, and he says he's killed several people.
Yeah. And he also said it doesn't matter.
Yes, he did.
I mean, when it comes to MAGA, I guess murder is cool, you know, rape is cool, you know. I guess. You know,
well, you got Karen McDougal, Stormy Daniels, Hollywood Access. Don't mean doesn't mean a damn thing.
And if you don't pay your vendors and you sell your voters crypto coins that a week later are worthless, you're just the greatest businessman there ever was. You're a genius.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but that's apparently the mentality now in the country.
Well, Nash had a good point yesterday. The Arabs bought a bunch of those coins knowing they're going to be worthless just so they could support Trump.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine if Barack, as Donald Trump would say, Hussein Obama, had accepted a jet to use as Air Force One from a Muslim government and country?
He's a Muslim.
Oh,
you know you'd hear it.
oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Just imagine that if he had accepted a jet to use for Air Force One from a Muslim country. Oh my gosh, there would have been like 100 million crazy white people in the Tea Party and white people in the streets, demanding.
Here, and there's another element to this is all these companies that Trump's sons are part of that are getting federal contracts, no bid contracts. This is a whole nother sphere of it that isn't getting as much discussion, but they've now added up $1 billion in contracts that these companies that, and they're always, oh, well, we don't have anything to do with day to day. They're like on the boards or they're various kinds of association that his son, this is just his sons, are involved in companies that have gotten $1 billion in government contracts and no bid.
I heard some discussion about that. The $1 billion is just a lowball figure. It's supposed to be, it's probably really a lot more, but they just can't track it. I think Steve Bradford said that.
This is just what's in the records. What can be found.
It's really a lot
and
more.
And here's this one company, this Vulcan Elements, which is one of those mystery metal things that they keep talking about. I don't know what it is, but anyway, that one's gotten $600 million in
rare earth.
In federal, rare earth minerals, whatever that is. So I mean, we got all that going on. In addition, this is all separate from the crypto scams. This is a whole nother thing that's going on.
And then the Republicans screaming socialism, communism, socialism, Democrats, socialist, and then Trump's always got these business executives in there from the tech companies and defense contracting company, and he's like, we're going to take 10%. The government's going to take 5% of the ownership, 10% ownership. Could you imagine a Democratic president trying to do something like it? Oh my God.
But
and the beat goes on every day.
Yeah.
The next thing you know is they'll try to take all the national parks like Yellowstone and they'll privatize them, and Trump will get a chunk.
Yes.
He'll get a piece of it. Yeah.
They'll start charging admission at Yellowstone. You want to come in, it's $150 to come in per person, something like that.
Well, it's like these Trump accounts they're setting up. Trump's going to get a piece of that somehow. I don't know how, somehow.
But a guy told me something yesterday that I hadn't thought about, a friend of mine, and I can tell you that he was a Republican. He considered himself a MAGA, a Trump supporter. I mean, he said, and I said, well, what about you and your friends and your people at your church and the people, is everybody still backing Trump? You know what I feel like, and a lot of my friends that we've supported Trump feel like at this point. And I said, what's that, brother? He said, we bought a ticket to the show. And about halfway through the show, we stood up and threw our ticket stub on the floor and walked out the theater. So they bought the ticket, but I think there's at least 50% of them that bought the ticket to the show, and after halfway through the show, which is about where we are now with his second term, they've got up and walked out and thrown their stub on the ground. That's
I
don't think
they're what I call the back during the campaign. I kind of divided them, and when I looked at polls, and you had the ultra MAGAs, and those guys sound like what I was calling MAGA adjacent, and then you had real Republicans who were voting for him just because they wanted Republicans to win, but they couldn't stand him, but they were still voting for him. You had like those basic, and even those divided into subgroups, but those were the great. you had the ultra MAGAs, the MAGA adjacent, and the traditional Republicans all voting for Trump, and
I think
all he's got left are the ultra MAGAs.
That's a good category. Those are good categories. I mean, they kind of break out that way. I mean,
I took a long drive here before the election, and I swear to God, there were 25 Trump signs to every Harris sign in people's yards.
Yeah. This was in Ohio, right?
In northwestern Ohio and southern Michigan, and over to Indiana, northeast Indiana. I took a long drive and just counted the signs, and that's what it was. About 25 or 30 to 1.
But I mean, I'm in the heart where I am down here in South Mississippi on the of Republican MAGA. I mean, geez, in the last 10 years, there's just been so many Trump signs plastered on the side of barns, flags from pickup trucks hanging from trees.
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, that stuff in the last year has just gone away. You just don't see it anymore. I mean, they'd have these Trump boat rallies and stuff where they'd go out here in the back bay, on Saturday and Sunday, be 100 boats with Trump flags. You haven't seen any of that kind of stuff this season or this summer. It's just.
You down in Gulfport?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I live in Gulfport, next to Biloxi. Yeah, I sure do. But I don't know. I think. I gotta say, I think at least half of the air is out of the balloon.
Yeah. The question is, I think that's very true, but is it going to affect the midterms? I mean, how they vote for other Republicans on the ballot in Senate races and so on,
I
or
think
not
maybe
vote? Will it depress the vote?
I think perhaps the biggest thing that'll affect the midterms is all those people like that guy. I was telling you that story about a minute ago. Just don't go vote in a few months.
Don't go vote. Yeah.
Don't go vote.
That's
just general GOP MAGA base Republican voters just not going to vote. And the base is what you really need in a midterm. I mean, you got to pump up and GOTV out your base. Because it's the midterm and not the 4-year presidential cycle. So, I mean, I think that it's at this point, I think it's just a whole lot of those people. They may not can stomach a Democrat still or voting for a Democrat, but I tell you what, I think they can stomach is just forget about the election and going to vote this November, and that's what I want them to do, quite frankly.
Just stay home and keep away from the bugs.
Yeah, stay home, man, counting the change so they can make another grocery store run and fill the tank up on the F-150 to get to work next week. Yeah, that suits me fine. Let them stay home.
I read an article in The Guardian, and they're estimating that half of all American families are in financial distress.
Huh. I believe that. How are they were defining it? How did they define distress or?
Not being able to pay all their bills, being worried about the future, particularly the price inflation on the things they need, essential items, not luxuries, but not worried that they weren't going to be able to pay for essential items. And, healthcare has been a big contributor to that. Many people don't have good healthcare, but that could really have an effect on MAGA voters, especially if they live in rural areas, because all the rural area hospitals are closing and they have to drive long distances to go to the grocery store, and the price of gas is really killing them. So, they estimated that half of all American families are in financial distress.
Well, rising rents is a huge one, too, because these landlords will keep raising the rents and people's wages don't go up.
Hello, Bart Stewart. Bart Stewart, welcome to the fold. Bart Stewart, where are you? Most people today have not been taught to live within their means. Gentlemen, thank you for your service. Well, I hope that's directed at us.
I do.
Thank you for thanking us.
I agree with what he said about not being taught to live within their means. But the thing is that speaking from my own, perspective, we bought our house in 2008 when the housing market crashed. Okay. And over the years, we've gone through where we had to get assistance from the state to pay our mortgage because it got to be so high, especially over COVID. And with only one of us working, because I lost my job during COVID, being in that mode, you get used to it. And it's, sometimes you have $20 in your bank account and you have no food. And now with food prices being too expensive, you have to figure out what you got to get. And that's how it's been for us for the last 5 years until now. And now our life has changed, so now we have more money. But
living within your means is hard when you got no means.
Thank God for Aldi grocery for me. When I was in financial difficulties, I discovered Aldi saved a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah. And you just have to adapt. And I think younger generations like Gen Z does not know how to adapt. And like the other day, I saw this girl who was freaking out because she had so much credit card debt.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, well, yeah, because you're not understanding that you can't afford to have credit card debt.
Some people can't help it. I've been there. I was there for a while. Not anymore, but I paid them all off. But by God, I was $58,000 in credit card hell. Didn't know what I was going to do, but I paid it off.
Right.
Of course, we've all got this. My grandparents, did not believe in credit cards at all. They didn't have any.
Yeah.
And they weren't poor or anything. They just didn't believe in the whole concept of credit.
My parents and my wife's parents were the same damn way. They would not have one.
My grandma did not get a credit card until after my grandpa died because he didn't want them. He had a business credit card, and that's all he had for a credit card. Yeah. And then, but yeah, after he died, she went ham. But she was also getting oil money from North Dakota, so $90,000 every 6 months.
She's the one that had the oil well in her yard or something.
She, there are 12 over 2 properties.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, but it's split 17 ways.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Bart Stewart saying, I was mostly talking about young people starting out. Things happen as you get older. What I see is 20-something-year-olds sitting in a $50,000 car on $1,000 phone crying because they don't have. That's some of it, but there's more.
Yeah.
There's more. I mean, that's somewhat true, but I mean, there are also people that are that doesn't discount what's.
Well, a phone cost $1,000 and a
responsible
car cost
people.
$65,000.
Yeah.
For a good one.
Well, and the thing is, and Bart, that even goes into the millennials are doing that too. So
DoorDash in their lunch. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, he brown bagged it for 30 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know something, we always talk about homes and stuff that I keep coming back to that. I saw a stat some time ago, and I just keep thinking about it. It was something like 20 years ago, Detroit made something like 36 vehicles that were under like $30,000.
Yeah.
And now they're like 4.
Yeah.
And what's happened is Detroit has quit making vehicles for people in the lower middle. Of course, they're getting used cars now. But that's part of the American dream that we got to remember. It's not just about homes. It's about getting a new car every 3 years.
Yeah.
That used to be the American dream, and that is gone for a lot of people.
It is.
That idea. I mean, I remember my parents pretty much every 3 years they'd get a new car. And that way you didn't have to be super rich to do that.
My grandparents bought their house for $11,000 in 1960.
My dad bought his house for $6,500 in Indiana in 1965.
Wow.
Well, it's also Minnesota where you got to have a basement. So.
Well, thanks for coming in, Billy. We about done our hour, but we didn't get to see Fancy. Is Fancy there? Is Fancy around? Fancy's busy. Fancy.
Hold on.
Okay. I always like to get a look at Fancy. Prettiest dog. There's Fancy.
Oh,
yeah,
cutie.
that's a pretty dog. That's pretty. I like the coloring on that dog.
Winnie's here, but she's snoring.
Yeah. All righty. Well, I'm gonna take us out with Sunday Serendipity because today, unfortunately, Sunday Serendipity is copyright blocked by the Frankfurt Symphony. Winter, is Winter still here? Winter, you got to talk to the Frankfurt Symphony people because they won't let us use their music on our live stream, and it makes me mad. So we gotta sort that out. We gotta be able to use that.
Thanks for coming.
So I'm gonna play it anyway, and that way, if
it's at the end,
if it's at the end, and YouTube makes me snip it off, then that's okay. I'll just snip it off, and it won't affect anything.
See you,
else.
Katie. See you, Nash.
Yeah. Have a good day, everybody. Enjoy the hopefully good weather. So
Good to see you there. Yeah, so this is Jack Sunday Serendipity from Mendelssohn. Here we go. I'll play about 30 seconds.